How to make a character's death sadder. 1. Don't have them die of old age after a long, fulfilling life. Many people don't even think of this as sad. Note that this can still work if you have enough of the other factors. 2. Leave one of their major goals unfinished. The more enthusiastic they are about completing that goal, the sadder. 3. Give them strong relationships with other characters. 4. Make them fight against whatever it is causing their death. Their ultimate loss is sadder if they struggle. 5. Kill them in the middle of their character arc. 6. Don't describe their funeral in detail. Maybe it's just me, but I find that long descriptions of funerals kill the sadness. That's enough, Satan's publisher. Yeah, I'll make sure to keep this in mind if I ever become a writer and want to be a bad person. Mom grounded me, so I catfished her for 6 months and broke her heart. From the Soldier game console, might I add. My neighbor told me coyotes keep eating his outdoor cats, so I asked how many cats he has, and he said he just goes to the shelter and gets a new cat afterwards. So I said, it sounds like he's just feeding shelter cats to coyotes. Then his daughter started crying. Wow. Oh my God, what a bad person. Spending my Valentine's Day outside a nice restaurant shouting, "Well, you moved on pretty quickly," to random couples walking in. I sometimes aspire to be this level of petty. I love Call of Duty #Modern Warfare crossplay. I said, Xbox turn off, and turned off some poor kid's Xbox mid-game. Hey, Jameski, you gotta teach him a lesson. Sometimes these kids deserve it. I made life-sized AirPod stickers and stuck them on the ground all over the city. Well, I just want to say that I'm a huge fan. I feel slightly ill. Oh! What the mustard? You're ruining the sanctity of a donut by filling it with mustard? What's wrong with you? That's the evilest thing I can imagine. My mom's laptop wallpaper was a picture of her granddaughter. I copied the picture 100 times and made her wallpaper a slideshow of the same picture over and over again. So the file would change, but nothing would change visibly on the monitor. The picture would change every 10 seconds. On one of the images, I painted a tiny little curly mustache on her. So randomly, for 10 seconds, my niece would have a mustache. My mom thought she was either losing her mind or had a computer virus, and every time the mustache popped up, it was gone by the time she tried to show anyone. A daycare dad cut me off in the parking lot. So I went early yesterday and taught his kid how to ride a bike. You can never get that back. That's the evilest thing I can imagine. That is actually so freaking funny. Like, poor dad, but if you're gonna drive like a bad person, you're gonna get that back at you. It's gonna bite you in the butt. So my daughter just bought a house that was built in the late 1800s. We found this and she threw it out. I got it out of the trash and let the games begin. How evil. How menacing. How funny. In line at McDonald's. Little kid behind me screaming he wants an apple pie at his mother. I get to the counter. Hi, I'll have a number 3, large. And excuse me, how many apple pies do you have back there? 12. I'll take them all. It's okay. The kid deserved it probably. There was a little boy in my line with his mom. She went to get something at the last second, and he begged me to slow down. I scanned his items as fast as possible when I was done. I asked him to pay, and he started crying. Walmart workers doing the absolute most to ruin people's days. The neighbor downstairs just installed a stripper pole. Hook a car battery to it. Ah yes, let us commit crime. When you realize you can make memes about colorblind people that they won't see. Hey, that's a really funny joke you put in there, actually. Guys, comment if you can see it. If not, I got some bad news for you. You have to choose only one. The other one gets to live. With a multi-track drifting prevention pole. No, I choose the path of most destruction. Drift the train so it splits, killing France, the UK, and the people in the train. As a bonus, shrapnel from the train kills the person pulling the lever. Myself. Guys, I think we found them. You are a menace. You are just doing the most, man. You gotta chill out. You're gonna be put on a list. True story. I'm flying right now, but through Wi-Fi and an app on my phone, I'm honking the horn on my car back home to annoy my family. The future is now. You know what? If I had the capability to do this, I would do that too. Or if I had a family to annoy. I grounded my kid, and this was his response. That is some very effective retaliation, and I wish I was that bold as a child when I got grounded. I'm in a Walmart parking lot watching a woman who can't remember where she parked. Every time she holds her remote in the air, I honk my horn. Why? Why? What's wrong with you? Customer came in complaining of hearing a whistle coming from the engine. I was able to diagnose the issue as them having friends. Is that a harmonica? Did somebody zip tie a harmonica into the engine of this man's car? Woke up, discovered 3-year-old had a massive nosebleed, his clothes covered in blood. Washed him, walked into the kitchen, found 5-year-old stirring his brother's bloody clothes in a pot filled with hot water. I need his blood, he said. I need his blood for my poisons. There's a pot of water, blood, cayenne pepper, and cloves boiling on the stove, and it's only 7:53 a.m. Today's Wi-Fi password can be unlocked by texting a photo of a clean kitchen to mom. Said photograph must contain 1 box of crackers on the counter by the stove to prevent reusing any previous photos. Thank you for playing. May the odds be ever in your favor. Love, Mom. Wow, I'm sure you have a great relationship with your kids. You won't be put in a home when you get old. If you had to design a harmless but annoying virus, what would it do? You have a strong urge to sneeze, but you can't actually sneeze. Alright, calm down, Satan. It's the worst feeling. What can I say? I'd rather stub my toe than constantly feel the urge to sneeze but never sneeze. You know how pantry shelves are a certain size? What if we make our family size boxes just a little bigger than that? Cereal executive. First of all, I love it! If you could telepathically say something that all 7.8 billion people on Earth could hear at once, what would it be? You picked the correct religion. I am real, and this is the proof you've been asking for. Then I'd watch the world blow up. When I'm bored, I come to Walmart and put these on people's car windows. Call me. I'm pregnant. In 8th grade, I had a teacher who, if he caught you reading, would take your book away, read the ending, then threaten to tell you the ending if he caught you reading it again. Satan. Why are we punishing kids for reading? I thought that's what we want kids to do. I thought we want kids to become educated and read instead of playing on their telephones. I make cupcakes out of soap. Everything in them is soap, even the sprinkles. Why? Like they're cute? I don't know, I probably wouldn't fall for that. The actual cake part of the cupcake doesn't really look real. Polymer balls that are invisible in water. Imagine putting like 10 in someone's bath and they get in and they start freaking out because there's something touching me. But there's nothing in the water, what the f***? OMFG. You're not thinking big enough. Make them in the shape of people with huge long fingers and hide one in every swimming pool in America. Please calm down, Satan. Always carry zip ties so you can f*** people who park like assholes. Oh, this is devious. Devilish. I love it. Daughter picked out masks and weapons to scare mom when she gets home from work. Oh, clowns. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we're moving on. My ex works in a pharmacy, so whenever I want to spoil her mood, I will just go there and buy condoms for no reason. Sometimes I go 3 times a day. You can just buy singular condoms? Are you buying boxes of condoms 3 times a day? Get Tuna and put it in hard-to-reach places in his room, like in his curtain rods. When it starts to go bad, he'll never know where the smell's coming from, and he won't be able to get rid of it. Then buy him a diffuser and grind pollen into it so he's always sick and itchy. What? Who hurt you? Do you want a hug? Do you need to talk about that? Tell me your deepest, darkest desire. Stealing your last 3 chicky nuggies and watching beautiful agony roll down your sorrowful features. 1 nugget bite at a time. And to top it all off, the cat smirking face emoji. Oh, menace. When I'm a doctor doing a surgery right before the person goes out, under the anesthesia, I'm going to say, okay, pull up the WikiHow article. Are you Satan? I don't think everyone can be Satan, but this guy's pretty darn close to it. Whoa. I had all this ground meat, and I made a meat baby. Now no one wants to eat, and all the kids won't stop screaming. Probably because the bacon's not cooked enough. That looks floppy as hell. Put that shit back in the oven for a little longer. Daughter doesn't want it, freaks her out. I want to get my money back, best offer. I'll give you $100 to tell her it's sold, hide it in the attic for 2 weeks, take it out and put it back in her room while she's sleeping. That's so messed up. I'm in. I like to add question mark in a diamond and 8-pound TM anytime I submit online forms, because I know that some developer is going to see it and wonder if they have a bug. Caution, this contains rubber balls and gumballs. Kids Bop Russian roulette? That truly is the worst thing. I don't know what's worse, biting into a rubber ball or throwing the gumball and it smashing on the ground. I think either is equally sad. I want to make an infomercial where it's not clear what the guy's selling. Like he's demonstrating how powerful this vacuum is by sucking up a bowling ball, but then he starts showing you how strong the bowling ball is by dropping it on some knives, but then he's showing you how the knives haven't been damaged at all by using them to cut through some shoes. And it goes on for 2 hours and then just loops back to the start while a number flashes on screen the whole time. And if you call, it just echoes whatever you say back to you. I don't think this is very Satanistic, but I think it's very funny. Abophobia. The irrational fear of palindromes, word that reads the same forwards and backwards. Wait a second. Who did this? Tomorrow's lunch. The 8th deadly sin. It is an insult to God. Is that Kraft singles melted on a slice of canned pineapple on a piece of white bread? I'd try it, probably. After finishing a 90-kilometer ultra marathon, runners have to leave the stadium using these stairs. Hey, you already did the 90 kilometers, might as well. My niece turned 3 today. She asked for a Lion King cake, but specifically the moment where Mufasa dies, because everyone will be too sad to eat the cake, and it'll be all for me. You made the lions out of fondant? That's really impressive, actually. Nice. Good job. I would have put some, hoof prints on Mufasa, because, he got trampled. Got no kids? Hire a babysitter anyway. Say your kid is asleep upstairs and must not be disturbed. Then upon your return, ask where your child is. You're just gonna traumatize a young person who wanted some money for the summer. Why would you do that? Fun fact, crows can talk just like parrots do. It requires a process called freeing their tongue. Don't ask. But yes, I want to train a flock of them to say run and release them onto a hiking trail. I want to ask, how many nightmares do you want to give to people? All of them. Excellent. This random number texted me accidentally and I couldn't help myself. When you get home and get the baby settled, call me. I thought you had the baby. What? Good night, kids. Good night, Dad. Good night, monster that eats the children who are bad. Through radio under the bed. Good night. That's the evilest thing I can imagine. Ketchup. What? Ah, yes, I was looking for a soap dispenser labeled ketchup with a picture of grapes. I really want this bottle in my bathroom. I place it next to matching decorative soaps and towels as it seemed like it fits. But I'll actually fill the thing with ketchup, so when I have guests over and they decide to use the bathroom, they will see this bottle and have a moment of cognitive dissonance. This soap bottle in the bathroom is labeled ketchup, so surely it must dispense soap instead of ketchup, despite the label saying ketchup, right? And then let them have a moment of realization followed by abject horror as they pump vicious ketchup all over their hands instead of soap. So you want hair extensions? Yes, I want to surprise my husband. What do you think? Fantastic. Honey, I'm back. Nap time, perfect. Babe, wake up. Babe. Babe! Huh? Oh God, you're finally awake. Babe, you've been asleep for 2 years. One time I asked a rival dad, who I knew didn't own a torque wrench, if I could borrow his torque wrench in front of a group of people. Why? Why must you do this to poor innocent people? You are putting them on the spot and ruining their lives. Today I was so bored, I saw an ant in my kitchen and I placed a few sugar cubes in front of her. She'd had some and went to tell her friends. And I quickly hide the sugar cubes because I want them to think she is a liar. I finally found the bottom right corner of the Excel sheet. It's XFD 1048576. Pro tip. Change the font color to white. Put a 0 in the box, and if someone tries to print out the document, it will eat a ream of paper. Oh, God, I might do that. When I quit my current job, I might do that. That sounds fun. The neighbor's kids challenged us to a water fight. I'm in. Just waiting for the water to boil. Why? Why? Why do you want to spray kids with boiling water? It's all good fun. You don't have to scar them, literally, not figuratively. Be naked at my sister's wedding, Lower East Side. My sister is having an outdoor wedding in New Canaan Court in May. I want someone to be naked in the woods and to run through the wedding in order to ruin it. I will protect you from my family. I came into the office early and switched as many M and N keys on keyboards as I could. Some might say I'm a monster, but others will say nomster. I get it. That's a good joke. You made me chuckle. Power move. Next time you go to the airport, bring a bottle of shampoo, but it's filled with yogurt. When they tell you that liquids aren't allowed, drink it. Oh yeah, I'd love to drink room temperature yogurt out of a shampoo bottle. If you're bored on Valentine's Day, just go up to random couples in restaurants and yell, "Who the hell is she?" laughs in Sith Lord. The advanced version is when you bring some kids with you. Oh yes, let's traumatize some children. I'm all for it. After much thought and consideration, I have come to the scientific conclusion that we should use light show drones to scare the shit out of uncontracted tribes. Yeah, okay, that's just not good. Please don't do that. I got banned from Cheat Code Central when I was a kid for posting elaborate time-wasting fake cheats for various games I never played. I'm gonna make a font called Times New Bastard. It's Times New Roman, but every 7th letter is jarringly sans serif. It's Times New Roman, but every 7th letter is jarringly sans serif. With one line, you activated every bone in my body and all of them are in attack mode. Really, I've never been able to get my bones to be attack mode. They've always just been so defensive. Damn it. The secret of happiness is T. What does that say? Titties? I hope so. My 7-year-old just backtalked me. Tomorrow, while she's at school, I'm logging into Minecraft and destroying her fucking village. Don't destroy it. Just plant a ton of TNT with a pressure plate around her so she destroys it when she logs in. Even I'm not into that shit. I've done this before. It's pretty fun. I noticed that while I was peeing in a public restroom that some dude was sitting in the stall quietly, as if he was waiting for me to leave. So I went to the door, opened it, let it creak shut, and waited. I heard him sigh in relief and then start shitting very audibly. So I yelled, "Ha ha, I heard you." And then I left. I bet he died inside. Whoa there, Satan. If somebody did this to me, I'd feel anxious and heartbroken the rest of the day. My teacher left the room during a test, so we all started sharing answers. Then I look up and she was staring right at me. Hey, your teacher's kind of hot. Can I have her phone number? A single man once booked every other seat in a cinema to split up couples on Valentine's Day. Yes, thank you for color coding the text. I can read it. Thanks. Have you ever heard of the Harvard MIT pigeon prank? An MIT student dressed in a black and white striped shirt went to the Harvard football stadium every day of one summer, blowing a whistle while scattering breadcrumbs or birdseed to coax neighborhood pigeons down onto the field. At Harvard's opening game of the season, upon the referee's first whistle, it's said that hundreds of pigeons descended onto the field, causing a half-hour delay. Oh my god! That's insane! The amount of time and effort. Oh, I'm flabbergasted. Bro is genuinely befuddled. Hey guy, that's a push panel that says pull. You can't pull the door. Where am I supposed to pull from? You want me to put my fingernails in between the metal and the door? I can't do that. Game show idea. 11 gay men and 1 straight man are locked in a house. The object for the gay men is to find out who isn't gay. Once a week, someone gets outvoted until 2 are left or the straight man is out. If the gays manage to outvote him, they win $1 million. If the straight man is among the last 2 people in the house, in the end, he wins $1 million. Now here's a twist. None of them are actually gay. They just all think they are the one straight man. I want to record an audiobook that's 8 hours of breathing and page turning. Then just, oh, you mean out loud? Right at the end. That's funny. That's so funny. That's like a good April Fool's prank for Audible.com. Replace a semicolon with a Greek question mark in your friend's JavaScript and watch them pull their hair out over the syntax error. That's a Greek question mark is parentheses semicolon. What? No. Oh god. My conspiracy theory is that there's no such thing as witness protection. When the government erases your identity, they just f***ing kill you. It's cheaper, easier, and when people are like, no, seriously, where are they? They can be like, I know, right? How good are we? Loving the idea of someone in witness protection scrolling through Twitter, seeing this tweet, and being angry because they know I'm wrong, but can't obviously say it. One thing kids like to be is tricked. For instance, I was going to take a little nephew of mine to Disneyland, but instead I drove him to an old burned-out warehouse. Oh no, I said. Disneyland burned down. He cried and cried, but I think that deep down he thought it was a pretty good joke. I started to drive over to the real Disneyland, but it was getting pretty late. Come on, man. Oh no, I would be so traumatized. Just thinking about it. Oh, I'd be bawling. And not like that was the move that made LeBron cry. I'd be crying. Climate protesters glue themselves to Porsche Museum, but need to go potty. Staff simply left, turning off heat and lights rather than calling the police. Well, that's one way to not get your point across.